Welcome, scientists. Miss P here. You and your classmates have been selected as student members of an around-the-world scientific expedition. Your mission is to study the major types of ecosystems on Earth. I will be your guide to help you navigate important information you need to complete this experiment in this week's class. Let's get started. First, we need to discuss energy roles. Do you play an instrument in the school band? If so, you know that each instrument has a role in the piece of music. For instance, the flute may provide the melody, while the drums provide the beat. Although the two instruments are quite different, they play important roles in creating the band's music. In the same way, each organism has a role in the movement of energy throughout the ecosystem. An organism's energy role in the ecosystem may be that of a producer, consumer, or decomposer. Now let's talk about the food chain. A food chain is a series of events in which one organism eats another to obtain its energy. In the picture, we can see the grasshopper eating the grass, the frog eats the grasshopper, the snake eats the frog, and the hawk eats the snake. When the hawk dies, his body is eaten by fungus, and then the cycle repeats. In the food web, an organism may play more than one role. As you can see, each consumer has a role within our ecosystem. In this slide, we will discuss the way matter is recycled in our ecosystem. Like the supply of metal for building cars, the supply of matter in an ecosystem is limited. If matter could not be recycled, ecosystems would quickly run out. The ecosystem must constantly supply energy. An example of this would be the water cycle. The water cycle is a continuous process by which water moves from Earth's surface to the atmosphere and back. As you can see, this process of evaporation, condensation, and precipitation make up the water cycle. Another example of energy being recycled is the carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen cycle. Much like the water cycle, these processes recycle chemicals to create energy within our ecosystem. So how do organisms travel around the Earth? Biography is the study of how plants and animals move from continent to continent. For example, I have a picture of a platypus. Imagine early settlers who saw an egg-laying animal with a beaver's tail, a duck bill, and a thick coat of fur. You can see why people who first heard this description accused the explorers of lying. Animals and plants travel from place to place by continental drift, wind and water, and throughout other living things. Climate conditions also affect biography. Differences in climates can be a barrier to the dispersal of plants and animals. Cactuses don't often need a lot of water or cold. This is why you don't see them in the tundra or where there's a lot of snow. Lastly, I'm going to talk about biomes. A biome is a group of ecosystems with similar climates and organisms. For example, forest, desert, grassland, and rainforest. Tomorrow we will have lab, where we will try to grow lima beans in different biomes and see which one does the best. Thank you for exploring with me today. Don't forget to visit our Class Edmodo site for more information. I have also provided you with additional links to help you with this week's quiz. Have a good night, explorers, and see you tomorrow.